Okay, I wanted to do a follow-up on my video yesterday about Snapchat's top 8. After posting that video and speaking up on Fox News yesterday, I got an email from Snapchat's comms team. They wanted to clarify how the feature works. So I took the call and I want to share what I learned and why I'm still concerned. I had stated in my previous videos that Snapchat users can rank their friends from 1 to 8, similar to MySpace's top 8. To correct myself, users cannot manually choose their top 8. Their top 8 is based on how much the user interacts with that friend. So the person I interact with the most on Snapchat is number 1, and so on. And this is only visible on free accounts to the user. So there's that clarification. I still don't agree with encouraging kids to have their friends in a ranking system. To me, it's just an obvious way to get the kids as engaged with Snapchat as possible, which is good for profit, but clearly not good for the kids' mental health. And while kids don't technically choose their top 8, I would imagine that kids still influence and change their rankings based on choosing to engage more with one person or less with another. So for me, still a harmful and unnecessary feature. So now let's talk about Snapchat Plus. If you pay to upgrade, $4 per month, you get access to Snapchat's solar system designations. This pulls from the top 8 that I mentioned before. So each of the people in your top 8 get a planet in your solar system. So they're like in your orbit. And this is only available to paid subscribers. And here's what I don't love about it. When you upgrade, you can see which planet you're assigned on anyone else's profile, if you're even in that top 8 at all. So if I'm a teenager and I visit my best friend's profile, like what if I'm number 3? Meaning there's 2 other people that my best friend is communicating with on this platform. Like, isn't that going to bother me? Or what if I check my boyfriend's profile and I'm not number 1? If I'm a teenager, I'm going to be worried about that. So I just don't understand what positive value this ranking system, whether it's called top 8 or we're charging kids for a solar system, like what value does that provide to the user, specifically to minors? So on my call with Snapchat today, I asked this directly, like what positive value does this add to the user? And do we feel like this helps minors foster positive relationships? So the Snapchat team wanted to make clear a few things. Only 1% of users pay for Snapchat Plus. Now, 1% sounds like a tiny amount, but when you realize that there's 800 million monthly users, that's 8 million people. So then I was curious, 8 million times $4 per month, that's $32 million in revenue a month for Snapchat Plus, just a side note. And the team wanted to make clear also that 80% of the users in the US are adults. So I couldn't really get a clear answer on how many minors are upgrading to Snapchat Plus in order to see who's in their orbit. But I think the message that the Snapchat team wanted to relay is it's not a lot. I'm always hesitant to believe the numbers given by these companies because they report their own statistics and there's no regulatory body fact checking them. So I asked the Snapchat team also how they feel that the ranking systems help to foster teens' confidence. So they reported that these features originally had good feedback. It wasn't really clear or shared where this good feedback came from. But now with the Wall Street Journal expose and the overall negative media around this ranking functionality and offering a paid subscription to see where you're ranked, they are reportedly looking more seriously at the value that this provides to youth. I want to clearly state that these 2 women from Snapchat who I spoke with were very kind, and they said what they could. They specifically did not make the decision to implement functions that I believe to be harmful to kids. So this is not a slight to any specific human being, except maybe Evan Spiegel and the executive team who ideate and approve these things. But that said, I would hope that going forward, Snapchat does a better job of getting unbiased feedback on new features, feedback from teenagers, feedback from parents, before rolling these things out, especially when you're charging people for the functionality. I'm not sure that $32 million in revenue a month is worth the negative mental health effect that this ranking functionality is having on kids. With the steep decline in teen mental health, we really have to start offering tools to them that are safer and that make them feel happy, rather than tools that separate them and prey on their insecurities. So that's where I'm at with the situation. I will continue to analyze the functionality of all social media platforms with the mental health of our children in mind first and foremost.